Well, just 10 minutes ago it was blue skies and boom, this came from nowhere. You can see there is a freight ship over there that's going through. Good morning and welcome to the Panama Canal. Approximately 10 years ago, I'd say, I went through this Panama Canal for the first time. It was quite a cool experience. There are 3 different locks. We already went through the first one this morning. It was too early for me as I DJ'd the night before. We're currently in the kind of the traffic area, let's call it. It's a place where all the ships kind of cruise beside each other, waiting to get to the second lock this afternoon. Up ahead is lock number 2. In about an hour we will head through that. We've actually just gone over under a big bridge. Very cool. We had a day at sea yesterday for the full day, and this morning we arrived quite early, but we went through the first lock at about 8 o'clock. The second one will be later on this afternoon, approximately 2 p.m. Now every ship that goes through this canal, as you can see, has a little tugboat escort. And he's actually attached. If you can see, he's hooked up at the back. And when they go through the locks, they actually have 2 pulling you at the front. One keeps you from heading to the left, one keeps you from heading to the right. It's very cool. It's now time to go host my activity, and I'll come back here a little bit later on and show you the second locks as we go through it. So I'm on deck number 11 at the back of the ship. Just wanted to show you the passageway that we came down. I'm now on the port side or left side of the ship. And as you can see up ahead, we do have a tugboat following, making sure that we don't get out of line. I'm now going to head to the front of the ship to show you as we approach Canal Gate number 2. From this vantage point, you can see on the left side there, that is the next dock or gate that we will be entering, number 2. There are 3 of them to go through the Panama Canal. So that freight liner that you can see on the right is preparing to head in. There are 2 locks, and you can see this one here on the left is ours. And as you can see, this is the system they have set up. You can see a little bit with the ropes there, but they have these, I'm going to call them trolleys down below. These things right here, they will hook up the ropes to the side of the ship. And again, on the other side, you can see that one. And it will pull the ship in, basically keeping it from pulling to the right or pulling to the left. So that's what these little guys are. I don't know what they're called. And once we get inside this bay here, it will fill up with water, open the door on the other side, and let us go. We are obviously very close to Panama City. You can see they do have tour buses that go to show these canals. Now you can see down below these 2 guys coming out on a very tiny boat. They're the ones that are actually going to help with the ropes, you can see. And you can see with their smaller strings or their smaller ropes that they're going to pull our giant ropes up and hook them to the machines.
But they don't know what. Runaway ship.
Where's
With Bruce Willis. We could call it Dive Hard.
Hello. It's okay.
So this shows you here, this little mini train, let's call it. He's just tightening up the ropes on the side. And he's gonna keep us from pulling to the left, and then they're gonna hook us up on the other side and keep us from pulling to the right. As you can see, it is a very, very small space. So we do have a professional lecturer on board who's been guiding us through step by step of what's going on here with the going through the Panama Canal. He's explaining why this tugboat is following us here. He's also explaining why they hook the right side up first and then do the left side. And actually the land that's underneath, the seabed underneath is too shallow for them to build the right side and the left side the same distance out. So they actually hook up the right side first, and then as you can see, I'm now on the port side or the left side. And as we get closer, they will hook up this side and pull us in. Now let's talk about costs for a moment. To go through the Panama Canal, approximately 3, 4, 5 years ago, it was $350,000 for a ship, depending on the size of the ship and the weight of the ship, to go through the Panama Canal. But apparently, with inflation and various other reasons, it has gone up. And an average cruise ship like ours, we're holding about, I think we have about 700 guests on board, with 600 crew approximately. It's about $400,000 to go through just once in one-way direction, obviously. And for the larger freight ships, the huge ones with all the cargo on them, it can be up to $1 million to go through the Panama Canal. Let's call the little mini train is backing up and actually loosening the connections, because the ones on the left are trying to straighten us out, try and pull us a little bit more to the left and get us completely centered, and then these actually guide us through into the lock without actually using our engines. We will turn the engines off, or at least to idle, and these little trains will do the work for us. So I'm down on deck 4. I just wanted to show you how close we are. I'm looking out the window here in the lounge, and we are inches away. And this is how they pull us through. It's a big rainstorm, as you can see right now, but I'll go back upstairs and show you some more. I want to show you one of the monitors you can see here, Panama Canal. That's where we've gone through. It's going to change in just a moment here. But they have these TVs all around the ship, and it shows basically where we came from, Fort Lauderdale heading to Vancouver, 23-day cruise. This is where we are now. You can see we have Costa Rica coming up. We're heading towards Mexico. And this gives you an idea of where we come from along this line. And this morning we came right through all of this, and this is where we are, exiting the second lock. But you can see when the screen changes, see, there we go, Fort Lauderdale, Cartagena, we are here, and we're working our way up through Mexico, up to San Francisco, LA, blah blah, to Vancouver.
11.
Well, just 10 minutes ago it was blue skies, and boom, this came from nowhere. You can see there is a freight ship over there that's going through. It's gonna be hard to see. It is heavy, heavy rain now. So this is the observation lounge at the front of the ship.
Someone doesn't seem to wear that out. And the visibility just isn't looking very good.
So I was just speaking to the guide, and he told me that these are called mules. They don't actually call them trains, they call them mules. And they pulled the ship in. This is a good angle here. You can see the bow of the ship and you can see the mule that's hooked up to us on the side. There's one on the other side as well. The water is starting to drain underneath us, shooting out the front, as you can see. So the ship is slowly coming down. It takes approximately an hour, and then these gates will open up, and off we go. So approximately 45 minutes has gone by, and as you can see, they're opening the doors. So we have cleared lock number 2, and in a couple hours we will approach, enter and exit lock number 3, which is very similar to this design. So we're approaching lock number 3, and I was just informed that this arrow, once upon a time, back in the day, was used to tell the ships which side to go to, the left or the right. They no longer use it. Everything is now digital, obviously.
You know how it's like,
I think it is lower than I think you've got optical illusion.
okay, so
It takes a surprisingly short amount of time.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
Well, I'm not going to be able to show you lock number 3. I have to go host an event momentarily, but I hope to catch the backside in about an hour.